Okay, so get ready, because today we are going deep, deep into the world of cloves.
Cloves.
Yeah, cloves. You know those little brown things that you probably have in your spice rack right now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean.
They might seem kind of small and unassuming,
Yeah.
but they're actually pretty amazing.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they've been used in traditional medicine for centuries, and there's a whole lot of potential benefits that modern science is now starting to uncover.
Like what kinds of things are we talking about here?
Well, we're going to talk about all sorts of things today. We'll
Okay.
be diving into things like boosting your immune system and maybe even pain relief.
Pain relief from cloves.
Yeah, it's pretty wild,
I
right?
would have never thought.
And one of the coolest things about cloves is their incredible concentration of antioxidants.
Okay, and remind me what antioxidants are exactly.
Well, think of them as like little bodyguards for your cells. They're constantly fighting off damage from things like pollution or stress. And that's a big reason why cloves are associated with so many potential benefits.
Interesting. So it's not just about like freshening your breath with a clove. It's actually about helping your body stay healthy from the inside out.
Exactly. And speaking of immune support, cloves are also jam-packed with vitamin C,
Oh, right. Vitamin C.
which is like essential for a strong immune system. It helps your white blood cells fight off those nasty infections.
So if you use more cloves in your cooking, you'll get sick less often.
Well, it's not quite that simple, but it could potentially mean fewer colds, or maybe you'll just bounce back quicker when you do get sick.
That would be nice.
I know, right? And get this, cloves also have manganese.
Manganese, what is that?
It's a mineral that's really important for building strong bones.
Ah,
So it's like giving your skeleton a little extra love.
wow, I had no idea cloves could do all that.
And there's more. Cloves are great for digestion, too.
They are. I don't think I've ever even thought about that.
Well, think about it. You often see them used in heavier dishes, right? Like stews and things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, that's because they can actually help your body produce digestive enzymes, which are super important for breaking down food and making sure everything runs smoothly, if you know what I mean.
So they're not just adding flavor, they're actually helping your stomach do its job.
Exactly. So we've got immune support, bone health, and digestion covered. And believe it or not, there's even more.
Okay, I'm listening.
Some studies suggest that cloves have some pretty potent anti-inflammatory properties.
Anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. And chronic inflammation is linked to all sorts of health issues,
Yeah.
from heart disease to joint pain.
So by reducing inflammation, cloves could actually help prevent these problems.
Well, that's what the research is suggesting, and it's pretty exciting stuff. We should definitely dig into that a little more.
For sure, for sure.
Now, have you ever thought about the connection between cloves and oral health?
Well, I mean, everyone knows cloves can freshen your breath, but I didn't know if there was anything more to it than that.
Well, there is. Cloves have natural antiseptic properties. That means they can help fight bacteria in your mouth, which can cause bad breath and even gum disease.
So they're like a natural mouthwash.
That's a great way to put it. And they can also help with toothaches.
Really?
Yeah, they act as a natural pain reliever. So they're like a two-for-one deal for your mouth.
That's pretty impressive.
I know, right? It's no wonder cloves have been used in traditional medicine for so long.
It sounds like there's way more to them than most people realize.
Definitely. Now, before we get too carried away with all the good stuff,
Yeah.
it is important to remember that cloves might not be right for everyone.
Oh, okay. Like who?
Well, pregnant women and people on blood thinners should be cautious. And if you're scheduled for surgery, it's always best to talk to your doctor first.
Right. That makes sense.
Always better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've covered a lot of ground already. We talked about boosting immunity, keeping your bones strong, improving digestion, all the benefits for your mouth, and it seems like we're just getting started.
Yeah, this is all really interesting. I'm curious to see what else we uncover.
Me too. There's still so much to learn about these incredible little cloves.
You know, one of the most interesting things about cloves is this compound they have called eugenol.
Eugenol.
Yeah, it's what gives cloves that really strong, kind of spicy aroma.
Okay.
But it also has some pretty incredible antibacterial properties.
Really, so it's not just a nice smell, it's actually like fighting off those bad bacteria.
Exactly. And we're talking about a wide range of bacteria here, including some that are actually resistant to like regular antibiotics.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
It is, it is. And it makes cloves a potentially really valuable tool in fighting off infections, especially now with antibiotic resistance becoming such a big concern.
So are we saying that cloves could play a role in, like, the future of medicine?
I mean, it's definitely possible. The research is still ongoing.
Yeah.
But even beyond the antibacterial stuff, eugenol has other benefits too. Like it might even be able to help prevent stomach ulcers.
Stomach ulcers, how does that work?
Well, cloves can actually help create a healthier balance of stomach acid,
Oh, interesting.
which is really helpful for people who tend to get ulcers. They also have anti-inflammatory effects that can soothe and protect the stomach lining.
So it's like a double whammy against ulcers.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, I've also heard that cloves can be really good for respiratory problems.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Is that true?
Yeah, for sure. Like, think about when you have a cough or a stuffy nose, cloves can act as a natural expectorant. They help to clear out your airways and reduce that congestion.
So it's like a natural cough drop.
Pretty much. But instead of just masking the symptoms, it's actually addressing the problem directly.
I like that.
And, speaking of addressing problems directly, cloves have a long history of being used as a natural painkiller.
Oh, that's right. My grandma used to give me a clove to chew on when I had a toothache. I always wondered if that actually worked.
Well, they've been used for toothaches for ages, and there's actually some research suggesting they could be helpful for other types of pain, too.
Really?
Yeah, that eugenol we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's got these analgesic properties, meaning it can actually block pain signals in the body.
So it's like nature's aspirin.
Kind of. So we've got immune support, bone health, digestion, antibacterial properties, pain relief. What else? Oh, there's one more thing we should probably talk about, and it might surprise you.
Yeah, lay it on me.
Some studies are showing that cloves could potentially have a positive impact on testosterone levels.
Wait, seriously. Cloves can help with that too.
It seems so. Testosterone is a super important hormone for both men and women. It's involved in everything from energy levels to muscle mass. And while we need more research on this, the early findings on cloves and testosterone are looking pretty good.
This is incredible. I'm starting to think we should all just carry around a little bag of cloves with us everywhere we go.
Well, hold on a second. It's important to remember that cloves are a potent spice, so you don't want to go overboard.
Right. Moderation in all things.
Exactly. As with any natural remedy, it's always best to start slow and see how your body reacts. And of course, if you have any health conditions or you're taking medications, talk to your doctor before you start adding a bunch of cloves to your diet.
Great advice. It's always best to err on the side of caution and get personalized advice from a healthcare professional. So we've covered a ton of potential benefits here, from boosting immunity to maybe boosting testosterone. And it seems like we've only just scratched the surface of what cloves can do.
You're telling me there's still so much more to learn and discover about this amazing spice.
Well, I'm a believer. I'm going to start experimenting with cloves in my cooking more and see what happens. What about you?
I'm right there with you. I mean, it's just amazing how something so small can pack such a punch.
Yeah.
And it really makes you think about all the other amazing things that might be hiding in plain sight in nature.
So true. It's like we have a whole pharmacy just waiting to be discovered in our kitchens and gardens. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the incredible world of cloves. We encourage everyone listening to do their own research and see how this spice might fit into your life. Remember, knowledge is power, and even the smallest discoveries can lead to big changes. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and until next time, stay curious. So we've learned so much about the power of cloves. It's amazing to think that something so small can have such a big impact on our health.
I know, right? It really makes you appreciate the incredible potential of natural remedies.
For our listeners who are like totally inspired to start using more cloves, where do you think they should start?
Well, the great thing about cloves is that they're so versatile, you can pretty much use them in anything.
Okay, true.
You can add a pinch to soups, stews, marinades, that kind of warm, slightly sweet flavor. It goes well with a ton of different dishes.
You know what? I think I'm going to try adding some cloves to my next batch of chili. I bet it would give it a really nice depth of flavor.
Oh, that's a great idea. And don't forget about drinks. Clove tea is amazing. It's super soothing and delicious.
Yeah, clove tea.
You can just steep a few whole cloves in hot water for a few minutes, and that's it.
Oh, that sounds perfect for a cold night. Maybe with a little honey and lemon.
Exactly. You can also try adding ground cloves to smoothies, baked goods, even homemade spice blends. Just get creative and see what you like.
Yeah, play around with it a little.
Yeah, have fun with it.
And as always, we should probably remind everyone to start slow and listen to their bodies. What works for one person might not work for another.
Right, good point.
So if you have any concerns or questions, always talk to your doctor before making any big changes to your diet.
Definitely.
Well, this whole deep dive has really opened my eyes to the incredible potential of cloves. It makes you wonder what other hidden gems are out there just waiting to be discovered.
It's so true. There's so much we can learn from nature and traditional wisdom.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this exploration of the amazing world of cloves. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive as much as we have. And remember, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep discovering all the incredible things that nature has to offer. Thanks for listening.